Woo! Everybody wave.
Everybody wave.
Hello. Hi.
Ew. Inception.
All right. So I'm gonna turn that down so you guys don't look at yourselves the entire time. Okay. So intros. Welcome to week 5. And you know myself, Kat, and you know Mulaney pretty well by now, but you might not know this wonderful human being back here. So she's going to come up and introduce herself really quickly. Just say your name, why you love games, what you do.
Sure.
Okay.
Anything. So my name is Brittany, and I love games because you can make them and make any type of story that you want. So I've made a lot of games. I made games for computer. I made them for phones. So if you guys are interested later, I can actually show you some games that I've made on my phone. And right now I work for Chorus Entertainment. Has anyone heard of Teletoon?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I work with the Teletoon brand, and I work with all those fun characters and stuff like that. So if you guys have any questions about that side too, you can talk to me. I work with people who make the shows. But I work more on like the digital media side. So I help make the games, and I help get them up on the sites and stuff.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
So Britt doesn't know who you guys are, so maybe you can introduce yourself.
And these guys don't know either.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start with.
I'm Kayla.
Second one.
Hi, Kayla.
And remind us of your favorite game.
Oh, I like playing Minecraft.
Minecraft. Cool. Cool.
My name is and my favorite game is Sims.
Me too. Like I grew up on The Sims. Like I played Sims like all the way from Sims 1 to like Sims 4 and all the expansions.
Creeps me out.
Cool. Yeah, go Michael.
My name is Michael, and I like to play Walking Dead, the game.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like you played all the different episodes? Like cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. I've only got through like episode 2.
I'm Quinn, and my favorite game is Shadow of the Colossus.
Ooh. I actually haven't played that one.
Yeah, we haven't talked about that one yet.
Okay, so let's introduce our tech wizards. This is Pizza. From Pizza. And
Favorite game?
favorite
Okay,
game.
I play video games, so one of my favorites would be Assassin's Creed.
Which one?
I don't know all. I don't know.
Community.
I recently played the pirate shipped one. Like the,
Black Flag.
yes, Black Flag, thank you.
I like Unity.
Cool. Yeah, cool.
Sima. Shy.
My name is Sila, and my favorite game is so many.
Love them all.
Every game ever.
No. What's your favorite type of game? Like, do you like adventure games, puzzle games, adventure?
And our last tech whiz.
I'm Kayla, and my favorite game is probably Plants vs. Zombies.
Nice.
Good one.
Nice. Cool.
Okay.
All right. So last week we did a lot of coding. Can everybody agree on that?
Yes.
Did we feel tired after the end of last class?
No.
No? It hurt. Sorry? It's what?
It was time.
It was tiring. Yes,
Tiring.
it was tiring. Yes. Who enjoyed coding? Just put your hand up. Who enjoyed doing that part? Yeah?
Nice.
Cool. Who found it kind of difficult at the beginning, but you got the hang of it as you kept going? No? Nathan's like, no, I'm never going to get the hang of it. No, you will. So today we're going to take a little bit of a break from coding, and we're going to do some drawing, which Mulaney is going to talk about a little bit later on. But just keep in mind that we are on week 5, and this is a 16-week program, right? So we're going to do lots of coding, but we are going to take those breaks to make sure that you guys kind of like, digest the information. So to just kind of play, we're just going to play a really quick game just to see how much you remember from last week. Does anybody just off the top of their heads remember any code blocks that we used last week? Just off the top of your head. Yeah, Quinn.
When the green flag is clicked.
Awesome. When the green flag is clicked. Perfect. Green, did you hand up? Yeah.
If then.
If then, yeah. Do you remember what that means? What that does?
Yes.
Do you remember? Can you think of an example of when we use the if then block?
To make them go up and down.
Okay. Yep. So we used when or if the right arrow is pressed, then move right, and if the left arrow is pressed, move left, and so on and so forth. Cool. We also used it in another thing as well. Can anybody remember what we did? We did the secret door last week, right? So what was how did we use the if then block for the secret door? Anybody remember? Yeah.
They made them say something.
Yeah. So we did a little bit of dialogue. So if the main character is touching something else, then say something. Yeah, totally. What about the door? What happened when the main character touched the door? Anybody else? Michael?
So teleport them to a different dimension.
Yeah, exactly. It took the main character to another scene, right? To another dimension. Great. So we're going to do a really quick activity just to kind of solidify some of these ideas because they are kind of intense and it does take a lot of practice to get good at coding, which you will all learn. So we're going to use this chart paper up here and we're going to play a game that will help us, I'll go to the next slide, that will help us understand the word sequence. So remember that was one of our learning goals from, I think, 2 weeks ago. And what does sequence mean? We talk about it every week. What does sequence mean? Kayla, do you want to?
In order.
In order? Yeah, exactly. So when we code, is it in sequence?
Yes.
Yes, exactly. So we're going to play a game, and I need one volunteer. Ezreen, do you want to do it? Yeah? Okay. Hopefully we can see this chart paper, or maybe I can move it. So Nazreen we're going to all pretend that she is a robot. Okay, so she's a computer. And as a computer, she doesn't know anything. Okay, so do you guys think that Scratch knew anything before we started putting code blocks in it? Did it know what kind of game that you were creating?
No.
No, exactly. So we're going to assume that Nazreen knows absolutely nothing. Not a single thing in this entire world. She doesn't know colors. She doesn't know English. She doesn't even know her own name. Does that sound good? Okay, so you're going to stand up. And I'm going to give you this marker, and you're not going to do anything. Is it a whiteboard marker? Dry erase marker. Okay. We can find another one.
Here, we got markers.
Yeah? Is that one okay? Yeah. Yeah, cool. And your job as a class is to direct Nazreen on how to draw a square on this chart paper. Okay? And assume that she knows absolutely nothing. She doesn't even know what she's holding. Okay, so we're just going to kind of go in order. So Kayla, do you want to start? What would be the first step that Nazreen does to draw a square on this piece of chart paper?
Draw a line.
What about even before that? What is she?
We open the marker.
Okay, okay.
But what's the
One,
marker?
there's one more.
What's the marker?
Oh. Then.
Nazreen, you can take this as serious as you want. You can just pretend to play completely if you don't know anything, okay? It's totally up to you. Okay, Michael, do you want to do the next step? So she took the cap off.
Yeah. Start pinning like the marker on the paper.
Where? Ooh, good one.
At the
Good
tip.
one.
Good one.
The very tip. What do you call the tip again?
Yep, that's right. The tip is the right word, so take the tip.
Okay,
Draw a vertical. Horizontal.
Okay, we're going to stop there because you didn't say stop, right? So you could just keep going all the way down.
Stop.
Okay, good. Quinn, do you want to do the next instruction?
Put the tip of the marker where your last line ended
Okay, good.
and go horizontal.
What direction?
Horizontal.
Right.
Sideways.
Right.
Okay.
Stop. Oh, no,
Okay.
that's a rectangle.
Kayla?
Do the same thing he said. Put the tip marker on the last point and go vertical.
So that would be a. So you
We're gonna talk
would.
about that
So what would
after.
that be? That would be a
Repeat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay.
And repeat it.
And then Michael,
Repeat. Horizontal.
repeat what stage though? Because this was the last step, right? So is she gonna repeat this step?
Yeah.
Then she's just gonna go all the way up.
No. I got the horizontal.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay, we're close. We're close. All right, big round of applause for Nancy. Good job. Well, let's back out. Okay, so what did we learn by doing that? That didn't take very long. You guys are pretty pro.
Yeah.
What did we learn by doing that? Quinn, what did you learn?
That Nesreen doesn't know anything about anything.
Okay.
Nesreen was a computer.
Nazreen is a computer, yes, not actually
Yeah.
Nazreen. She
Nazreen
knows
knows
lots
a
of
lot,
things.
yes.
Lots of things. Okay, so we learned that computers don't actually know anything, right? And they only know something when we tell it to know something, right? Just like when we're coding. So our computer only knows that we want to move our character right because we told it to move the character right. But otherwise, it can't read our brains, right? It has no idea what we're thinking or what kind of game we're trying to create. Michael, what did you learn from doing that
I
exercise?
did some mistakes because I had to say like the sequence properly.
Yeah, that's an awesome point. That's exactly what I was looking for. Yeah, you have to be very specific with your instructions, right? Because if you're not specific, then the computer, or Nazreen in this case, is just going to go and do whatever she thinks is correct. So last week, did anybody, just a show of hands, did anybody put in a block of code on their own and it did something that they didn't expect it to do?
Mhm.
Yeah? Kayla's saying yes, Nazreen's nodding, Michael, Quinn, yeah, exactly. So did you try to think about how you would change it? Like what you would do to make it do what you wanted it to do? Remove a little bit.
Remove a single block of code.
Yeah, exactly. So when you think about how many blocks of code that we've actually done, it's not that many, right? Because we've only done 2 weeks of coding. But by the end of the program, you're going to have like hundreds of blocks of code. And one little snippet can change the entire game, right? If it's not in the sequence, okay? Nazreen,
What was that error? What was that called? When
A
we
bug.
talked about it.
a bug.
That's
Yeah,
right,
you got it.
exactly.
Exactly, that is a bug. Cool. Nazreen, what did you learn by being the robot?
How to draw a square.
Okay. Good answer. Yeah, totally. What did you learn about the people who are trying to boss you around?
All about life.
Were you trying to think about what they meant, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're acting like a human, right? Because humans, if Melanie and I are having a dialogue, right, I'm gonna try to, I guess, adapt to what she's saying to me, right?
Interpret. Yeah.
Yeah, interpret and try to adapt to and understand what she's trying to say to me. But computers don't have that skill, right? They don't have that skill whatsoever. They have no psychological understanding of anything. So they don't understand body language, right? They can't assume what you're trying to say or try to guess what you're trying to say. They need to have very specific instructions. So that was a really hard exercise, and it's hard to disconnect yourself from that. But assume that the computer doesn't have any of those skills whatsoever. Kayla, what did you learn?
Oh, hard.
It was hard? Did you find it similar to coding?
Yeah.
Yeah? Because you said coding was hard earlier, right? What was hard about it?
It's telling you what to do, it doesn't know what to do.
Exactly.
It's so specific.
Yeah, exactly. Do any of you have younger siblings or
Yeah.
have a really young, maybe toddler or a baby in the family?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you treat the baby?
I leave it alone.
Do you talk maybe slowly or
Yeah.
repetition, right? Because the baby's still kind of developing. Yeah, totally. A little bit different scenario than this. But does everybody understand why we did this exercise? Understanding sequence?
Yep.
Yes.
To review what we've already done. Did so much work last week and the week before. So now we're just gonna try to move on to something a little more fun. Well, this is fun. This can be fun, but like we're gonna take a break from this today.
Yeah.
And do something different that like relates directly to your stories.
Yay!
We are going to learn how to draw today. I don't know. This is exciting. This is good because we're going to bring your characters to these digital lives because you have some amazing drawings and, we can play them on paper. We can draw it out on paper, but we want to make sure that they can be put into your games as much detail as possible. Okay, so we're going to start with what does 2D mean?
Opposite green.
Do you want to answer, Kayla?
It's flat, like it's not popping out.
Right. So what 2D means two-dimensional. And as Kayla said, it means it's flat. So there's only a vertical plane and a horizontal plane. So y-axis and x-axis. So all the drawings that you're doing on paper, and also there are drawing styles that you can do digitally that are flat as well. And that's what we're going to be focusing more on. But with flat two-dimensional drawings, it's a very different perspective. It's not like 3D, which we were going to get into, but flat allows us to move up and down, sideways, and to kind of keep things as simple as possible. So, do we have an example of what a 2D game looks like? Anybody? Can you think of one?
Piano time.
Piano tiles. It's a good one.
What a classic, like.
I don't know what a 2D
Yes. Think of something from maybe before you were born. You played old games? Old school?
Yeah.
Mario Brothers. It's a really good answer. Yeah.
That's 3D.
No, the old version.
Oh,
The old version, the original one was very much up and down, forwards and backwards, jump over barrels of
Back
Also,
in the day, there was
Do
no
we know this game?
Angry Birds. Oh, what is it like?
So, Angry Birds. It's quite simple. Most of the drawings are really simple. It's simple shapes, circles, 2 circles, 3, 4 circles, some triangles and some rectangles and whatnot. And that's how they constructed this Angry Bird. It's like super simple to draw, very quick, very easy. And today we're going to be doing some of these because, it's great to see how simple shapes put together can kind of come up with an interesting character that has a lot of expression and, kind of humorous as well. So
Yeah, I'm just gonna ask you guys, what if we move the eyebrows up? Would this angry bird be angry still?
No,
You can point it down.
what does a raised eyebrow mean when somebody curious?
There you go. Yeah.
What if they were like this?
Yeah. What if we just tilted them a little bit? Not angry,
sad.
right? Yeah, sad.
Not angry.
Sad birds. The whole game has changed.
That's part of the goal today. When we are actually going to be drawing, we're going to turn these angry birds to happy birds. So that's the goal.
okay.
Just remove the eyebrows.
Just remove that. And it's just going to be a questioning bird, or surprised or
Surprise birds.
Yeah,
surprised,
exactly.
some electrocuted bird. We'll figure it out. But so 3D means three-dimensional. So there's a third element, and that's called depth. So when you think of a box, it's 3D. You're 3D because you have edges, you've got corners, you've got width, height, length, all these those 3 important components. And 3D games, they are sort of put together with things like shadows and highlights. That helps bring depth to whatever the object is. They have different perspectives, so you can be at different angles. You can be from high above, you can be from below, you can be from the perspective of the ball. They have things like vanishing points, which we'll discuss later on, not today, but later on in the course. And 3D games have more details that make images appear more realistic. So,
Is Sims a 3D game?
and what game do we have here? Oh, it's too bad that's
FIFA.
right
The
on.
little guy.
FIFA,
Loves
Chelsea
this game.
player. That is a great example.
That's
of 3D.
concrete.
Yeah. And what can you see in this image? Well, it's hard to see.
Samsung.
like he's skipping.
Do you also see what's on the ground?
Shadow.
Shadows, right? And how the position of his hand. What do you see there too?
Shadow.
Shadows. You see highlights. The ball's highlighted. There's a shadow on the ground of the ball as well. You see the bottom of his foot. It would be hard to draw that in just a 2D manner and get that depth.
There's people in the back.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's vanishing points. That's depth of field. We are going to talk more about that in the next.
Wait, did someone draw that?
This is totally designed by Dave. It's not real.
Crazy. Modeled on a computer.
Oh.
But everything starts with the drawing.
Yes,
That's important to know.
that's a good point. Definitely. So.
2D game style.
Yes.
Yay! Cool.
We're gonna
Okay.
talk more about this.
So we're gonna focus. There are lots, but we're gonna focus on 4 because they're probably the easiest. So the games that you're creating in Scratch, are they 2D or 3D right now?
2D.
They're 2D, exactly. So we're gonna take a look at just 4 different styles that you might want to think about when you're designing your characters. And the first one is 8-bit. So 8-bit. Does this bring back any? I don't know, memories. for
No,
people?
That's
Probably
what
for
Michael had mentioned.
We
does
weren't
for me.
live when this came out.
You were
You
what?
sure?
We weren't. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
I was.
Well,
Yeah, it
Super
came
Mario
out
came out, the different versions. Yeah,
19
Nintendo
something.
64 came out when we were young.
I used
I
to
was
play this
alive
for
when
hours.
Mario came
Me
out.
too. I know.
Like hours. Because there was no save button. So if you died in the game,
You died.
you died.
Yeah.
Like, you start all over.
Yeah.
So I used to just play
Yeah,
until I beat it.
it's funny.
It happens.
So let's talk about this style. So what, if you guys could describe 8-bit to somebody who had never played an 8-bit game, what would you say? Quinn?
Square.
Squares, yeah. Okay. Does anybody know what those squares are actually called?
Talked about
Pixels.
it.
Yes, yes, you got it. Pixels. So 8-bit is otherwise, it could also be known as a pixel game, a pixelated game. And so does everybody see that like this hill right here is really pixelated, like 8-bit kind of design? What other characteristics do you see? How else would you describe an 8-bit game? Michael? You want to talk about what are the colors like?
Colorful.
Eye-catching?
Eye-catching? Okay, yeah, great. Eye-catching colors. Are they really bright? Are they dull? What kind of colors are these, Michael?
Right.
They're bright. Yeah, they're really, really bright. Awesome. Nazreen, what do you notice about this 8-bit game? What about the outlines or the strokes?
It's black.
Black? Okay, yeah. Britt?
Well, I was going to point out, because this is like very, very 8-bit style. Do you guys see this right here, like on the tube? So this is like,
Texture.
it's a way to do texture and shadowing. So
Yeah.
it's like,
It's
you'll
hard to
notice in a
do.
lot of games, they just do this like
Checkerboard.
checkerboard, and it's like, you can do that with anything, and it looks really, really good.
Totally, yeah, that's a great thing to point out. I was also going to mention sort of the cloud, right? It seems to have, I guess, like artificial depth in a way. Like,
How did they create that depth?
yeah,
By adding
They added certain colors.
great.
they added blue, a contrasting color to
They
the
highlight the size black so that it can pop out.
exactly.
Perfect.
That's
Yeah,
the right
perfect. So the next one is cartoon. So that's what we've been primarily focusing on in Scratch is cartoon-based things. So Kayla, how would you describe a cartoon game just by looking at this if somebody didn't know what a cartoon game was?
Weird.
It's weird? Why is it weird?
It was a banana walking to a musical note.
Yep, okay.
You don't see that every day.
You don't see that every day.
It's an Elvis with banana thing.
Yeah, the hair looks pretty awesome. Okay. Does anybody want to talk about the colors of this? Nazreen, yeah.
It's 3D.
It's what?
It's 3D.
Is it 3D though, or is
Yeah.
it just kind of appearing to be 3D?
Appearing.
Look at the back.
Like if we look at this building here,
That's
right
just the
here, right?
background.
Like is this actually 3D or is it just a different color and it just appears to be 3D?
Oh.
Right. Are there any shadows in this?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, there's a little bit, yeah. But everything is just
Different
very
colors.
one color. Sorry, what were you gonna say, Karen?
Different colors.
Different colors?
Make
Yeah.
it look like a 3D.
Exactly, yeah.
It's
So
different tones
Yeah.
within the same color family to make it look 3D. So it's still monochromatic because it's kind of just all in the green family or blue family,
but you guys can see the difference between this and the FIFA picture, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because there's actual shadows in the FIFA picture, right? Cool. What about the stroke on cartoon games? What's the stroke like? Like the outline. Michael, do you want to talk about it? The outline of things?
I made the
what's-
point earlier.
Oh,
Yeah.
black.
Black, yeah, exactly, you got it. And it seems to be a little bit thicker too, right? And this building is kind of interesting because it starts really thin and then it gets really thick.
And it goes thin again.
So everybody's watched a cartoon, right? Cartoon Network, Teletoon, which is what Brittany does. This is very much the style. Thick black lines, really vibrant colors. Typically, the background scenes are less colorful than the characters. So bringing out the characters is really, really important. Cool, I think we can.
There's also like so much less detail. Like a building wouldn't have just 5 windows if it's supposed to be replicating a high rise. The doors don't have handles. Like the details are quite minimal, but you just get the structure of what the building's supposed to look like.
Sketch. Yes.
So what do we think? What do we want to talk about with sketch? What do we like about sketch styles?
It's different from cartoon. It stands out, but it looks good.
So what's the similarity between this and cartoon?
It's not fully colored.
Is there a similar, Michael? Yeah.
It's performed to look where you want to look like the character right here, and you just see the background. It's just you can only see the character, like your main eye to look at it.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good point. Yeah. So the character seems to be the most interesting part of the scene, possibly. Yeah.
Kayla, what did you say?
It's not fully colored in.
That's right. It's not.
Great. It's not fully colored in. Yeah. Are the colors comparing this to the 8-bit? Is this colorful?
No.
No, it's not. Right.
It might not be as colorful, but there are more. That's right. Say louder. Details. What kind of details?
Like that.
The dragons, monsters on
Fire.
the sides. Yeah, and
Fire.
also look at the hair. You see the strokes.
And is there a reason it's not as colorful?
His legs are connecting to his feet.
Kayla, is there a reason why it's not as colorful, do you think?
Yes.
Why? What does it add to not being as colorful?
Because it's a setting.
Good, the setting, yeah, absolutely, the mood and setting. for
Yep.
sure.
Right.
Totally. Awesome. And the last one is flat. So, what is the main? This is very similar to cartoon. What is the main difference between flat and cartoon? Michael, yes.
It's like fake Minecraft.
It's like fake Minecraft. Why do you say that?
There's coins in the air.
There's coins.
in the air and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. So it's
The
like
dirt.
Like you said,
okay.
what did you say, Kayla? They're also.
What?
You said spikes.
Oh yeah, when you die.
In Minecraft?
Or in
When you
this
die,
case,
you
right?
respawn.
Yeah.
But you have to start over.
Not thinking about the gameplay, but just by looking at this, right? Because you're talking about drawing style. So what's the main difference between a flat style and a cartoon style? Michael's been talking about it a lot. Because I'm thinking on it.
Color.
Those are similarities, yeah. So the colors are very bright and vibrant. Quinn?
There's no black outline.
Yes, you got it. There's no black outline. So the flat styles are typically one color, sometimes two. So we can kind of look at the bush here, how it has two colors in total, but they're typically exactly what they sound like, just completely flat, one color. And I know Britt works with flat stuff a lot. I don't know if you have anything to add.
Yeah, like if you'll notice in the background, like Kat said, it's very flat, and you'll usually just see one or two colors, and it's just like they're layered over. So sometimes there'll be like 2 layers of mountains, but each like row of mountains is just one color. And you'll notice that in a lot of flat games. I'm trying to think of what are some. Has anyone played? What's some flat games? Sorry, Pac-Man. That's more 8-bit. I'd say that's 8-bit. Well, arcade style. Well, this is kind of flat, but it's like a 3D flat game, which is kind of like a weird mind thing. But Crossy Bird. Crossy Bird, which is like it has the 3D, but it's using the flat style because it's a 3D game. But have you guys played Crossy Bird?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the name?
I forgot.
Crossy Road.
Crossy Road.
Yeah.
Crossy Bird.
Oh,
Crossy Road. Yeah. But if you play Crossy Road, it's like each thing is one color. There's no shadows. It's very much like this, just like a 3D.
Britt brought up a good point today about layers, because in all of drawing that we're going to be doing digitally, layers are very, very, very important. It separates background from the foreground. It separates the characters. You can be able to move their individual arms. Well, we're going to be moving them sideways, up and down, however. But layers is a really important aspect with digital drawing that we're going to talk about today, because if we don't have layers and we just have no movement, no animation, there's nothing. So that's important for an important point for the rest of the day, because we have to really think about layers and remember that we're working in layers. Layers are like cake. Think about layers in the cake. So there's
Now I'm just thinking about cake.
so good. The one at the bottom is the one that's in the background, and the one on the top layer, is the one that's in the foreground. Yeah. So we also have to remember some of the best main characters are really simple. We talked about this before. There aren't very many. How many shapes? How many circles do we see in this character?
Four.
4.
1, 2, 3.
Are you sure about that?
6.
5,
6.
6. Right. So how many rectangle kind of shapes do you see?
3. Actually, no. 3.
Right. So you get 4.
Where?
So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh.
Well, yeah. So it's not a square. It's a long. But simple drawing, simple shapes, simple, but a lot of detail, because we can see the expression with the eyes being pointed together. That simulates what? Crazy rage. Crazy rage, crazy anger, eyebrows pointing down. They tried to make a little bit of a highlight by adding a circle on the forehead, or whatever. Do birds have foreheads? Okay. And with making the beak slightly curved to simulate what happens when you curve your mouth.
Make a smile.
When you curve it upwards, yes, but when you're curving it downwards, it's called a
Frown.
right, a frown. So think about the style you want to draw your actual main character in, but today, first we have to do a little bit of an exercise. So we're going to need the computers out. So if tech was this, want you to think about your character. Yes. Do you have your drawings as well of your main characters? Is this yours and everybody's? Okay. This is just yours? Okay. You're gonna help them with drawing. Right. Okay. Yep. We're gonna take 5 minutes to sort of get everything ready.
and that requires us to know what a vector graphic is. Has anybody heard of this term, vector? Is this a new term for everybody?
They've been using it for
Yes,
cereal. It's not the right way.
Okay.
Digital.
Well, it's digital. Yes, it is digital. You got it. So vector graphic. You want to go to the next slide? Yeah. This is the best way to kind of visually see the difference between a vector and anything else on the internet. So a vector graphic are just 2 points in space that are connected by math. Okay, and so that means that at this, when it's really, really zoomed out, and then when it's really, really zoomed in, the mathematical equation adjusts to the zoom. Okay. A bitmap or a raster are all other types of files that mostly make up the internet. So you guys, I think we might have talked a little bit about like JPEGs, PNG files. Those are all what we call bitmap files or raster files. And when you zoom in on them, what do you notice? What do you notice, guys, when you zoom in on a raster file?
Blurry.
It's blurry.
It's blurry.
Yeah. Okay. What else? Why is it blurry?
It's not fully designed. Fancy graphics or something.
We're getting there. We're getting there. What do you guys notice about? Can you see a little bit once it gets zoomed in? Can you see why it's actually blurry? Like what part is made up of what? Quinn said it earlier.
Pixels.
I'll say it a little bit louder.
Pixels?
Yeah. So when this is zoomed in, can you guys see that it's pixelated? What we call pixelated?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the difference between this, it's not pixelated, right? Okay. So all you need to know about a vector file is that it's using math to make sure that at any point that you are zooming in or zooming out, that the equation is exactly the same and it looks really, really good. Rasters are the opposite, and they use pixels in order to form an image. Is that good with everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Okay.
Do you want
Cool.
everybody on the computer right now?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we're gonna start with Scratch.
Okay.
So everybody log in to Scratch and open up.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Open up the file that's called Scratch Drawing Tutorial. Once
Oh,
you
yeah.
log in, do you want to remember the login? Okay, hold on. a
So if
second.
you guys click the username in the top right-hand corner and then go to My Stuff, then you should be able to see.
I don't have a Scratch account thingy.
We have a Scratch account that you can. put in.
Sorry, this project is not shared.
Let's take a look.
Try
You have
signing
to
in
sign
again.
in. You girls can also. So once everyone's signed in, we're going to play around with that Angry Bird character. We're going to do that for about 10 minutes.
It's not working.
Are you signed in?
It says move 10 steps. What is it?
Hold on a minute. Let's everybody get
You have
signed
to
in first, and then we're
do
going to
the
go from there.
You have to do the. You have to do
Go do that.
Yeah.
But first put in the password.
So the file we're going to be using is in My Stuff.
Can we like
Go to the folder in the corner, My Stuff, and look for the. Did you sign in?
Here, I think it's right there. Go up.
Scratch drawing tutorial, Michael. You're on there. Go to the corner. Oh, you signed up. Okay, so sign in again. Give everybody another couple minutes to sign in. Just use same password. Alright, so now go to So does everybody have this window open?
Okay,
Yep.
yeah, you have to be in the other one, not this one.
You have it. You've got it. You do. You're in the project. We'll switch it over. I'll tell you how to do that.
Okay, yeah.
Right now, everything looks
Wait,
like this, right?
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay. Are we all?
Do they hit remix?
They have to save it. They have to actually save it as a separate project. So save a copy.
Is it remix?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just hit remix.
So hit remix. But this is a little button. Sweet. Are you having trouble on the other? My stuff, right there. Nope. Perfect. Yeah. Here's just loading the project. Okay. So we all see this window right now, right? So in order to draw in Scratch, we have to go to the tab Costumes, which is right next to the tab Scripts. So Costumes. And to make a blank costume, this is what we're gonna do. There's this paint new costume. It looks like a silhouette of a paintbrush. We select this, we click on this. Yes, thank you for letting us know.
Yeah, it keeps me out.
Yeah.
I saw it.
This is really, okay, so we're gonna have to figure out.
It's okay, this
It's
is
fine
just
for now.
tutorial.
Yeah, but it's fine.
You guys don't need to save this.
Right. So costumes, and that gives us this blank, transparent screen. So we all have the blank, transparent screen. Hands up if you do. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. We can move on. I'm just going to talk. We mentioned vectors and bitmap, right? So in the bottom corner here, what's really important is that we're going to convert this drawing to. We have to start the project by converting it to vector. So select this button, and what happens is it changes the menu. So it's the corner here. Convert to vector. Does everybody have that selected? Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. So I'm just going to go through the tools quickly because if we go into too much detail, it's going to take forever. So the important thing is to know just the basic functions of these tools. So let's go to the pencil. See the pencil here? This is it's called the freehand tool. It's the fourth button down from the right. Do we all select the pencil? Now with the pencil tool, it's the kind that, you just want to freehand and draw whatever you like. You can do that. There's no angle. There are no angles. It's really hard to keep a steady hand, but yeah, that's perfect. That's sweet. We also can kind of fill in the areas that we can't make, like squares or triangles, those sort of rounder edges. We can use the pencil tool in order to get the shapes we want. We can also go up to the arrow. The arrow is called the select button, and a lot of drawing programs have this option. So when we click on the select button and then we select or click on the actual squiggly drawing tool that we've done, we can change the angle, we can turn it around, we can make it narrower, we can make it wider. The most important thing is every time you've drawn something, we've created a layer. That's a very important thing. So right now, this is our first layer. This is the background. So let's try using the line tool. Can we all see that? It's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th button down. And we're going to change the color. Here's where we have our color options. We can either use the colors that are in the grid, or we can be more specific and use different variations of color. So you can select whatever color you want to use. Have you already done that? Okay, so I'm going to use a bright pink. And with the line tool, I'm also going to change the thickness of the line. This is down in the bottom left-hand corner. We can change the thickness by dragging the, what is this called? bar to the left and right. This is the little
Slider.
slider. Thank you. Thank you. By dragging the slider, so we can make our. Yes, we can have one of the tech help. We're out. So now our line is going to be super duper thick. We can even make it bigger. And again, every stroke I'm making, every line I'm making is creating a new layer. So the last line that I've done, that's at the that's the top layer of the drawing. So
Keep this in mind if you're gonna do like a cartoon style or an 8-bit, then you want to do like a black stroke or whatever color stroke.
right, so when you, for example, when we're going to be working with the Angry Birds image, the body is the biggest object and it's in the background. If it was in the front, you wouldn't be able to see any of the details on the eyes or anything like that. So we can also, now we're going to move on to the rectangle tool, which is going to be very handy when we're making other shapes as well. Let's just do some of these things. Oh, to erase, you can either use the actual eraser or you can actually use the undo tool, which is just going back every step that you've done from before. So let's just draw a rectangle. Now, sometimes we don't want just the frame of the rectangle, we might want it to actually be filled with color. So there is a tool which is in the shape of a bucket. A tool that's in the shape of a bucket right here. And we can select any other color. Let's just pick blue. Click, and it's filled in. So now it's a solid square. We can also put gradients. We can. Here is where you can change it to different. Oh, I'm going to select it. Going back to. Here, once we select the bucket tool, we can have gradients, we can have solid color, or we can have just circle gradients, any kind of gradient we want, just add a little bit more variation. So maybe when we're making clouds or something, we'll be using gradient colors. Here's a little sort of tip. If you want this square to be a perfect square, you have to press the shift button. We're gonna do this together. Hold down the shift button and drag it down to whatever size you want. You'll notice it will end up being a perfectly symmetrical square. We can also do that shift option for when we're creating a circle as well. If you want a perfect circle. Otherwise, we can freehand when we're doing a circle. We can make an ellipse. We can make any type of shape. So let's play around with that for a bit. You can either take a circle or the circle rectangle. Okay, so another important tool is the reshape tool. So what happens is once these shapes are created, every corner of, like for example with the square, we can select it. You notice here there's a circle here and a circle here, 4 circles at every point that the square sort of bends, right? We can drag the individual corners to make different shapes, to reshape the actual form we created. That's what the reshape tool is. So does everybody see where the reshape tool is? It's below the arrow, directly below the arrow. So it's the 1, 2, 3, it's the 3rd button down. So we can reshape. We can also, with the reshape tool, we can add another point by double clicking or single clicking. If we want to have more angles and more options with the shape, we want to make more complex shapes. that's what our line looks like when we selected the shape. We have lots of points there. We can really do anything we want. We can really get into more details and make things look cleaner, be more specific. It's just a great option for reshape. And a lot of other drawing programs have this as well. So that's something like the pen tool in other programs, but it's a really important one. Huh? No, pen tool.
Oh gosh.
We're not going to be using text for our drawings. And for example, we really like the shape. So let's select, just say, oh my gosh, I love this weird
Puddle.
paddle, right? And I want to,
Ice cream cone.
I need to duplicate this paddle. We can press on our keyboards, Control C, or Alt, sorry. Alt C, which copies, and Alt V, which pastes. So, Control. No, they do math. So Control C and Control V. Here we've duplicated. We've made an exact copy of the shape that we had before. So like when we're making things like eyes and hands, we don't have to draw two sets of hands. We can draw one set and then duplicate it and then flip it. And eyebrows, exactly. We can do that as well. And finally, so these buttons here, for example, the one with the arrow pointing upwards, this is how you change your layers. So this is how you change the order that the shapes you've drawn are in. So if I don't want this to be in the front, like if I don't want this shape on the right, let's change the color so it's a little bit easier to see. So if I don't want this shape to be on the top layer, like in front, I'll click either one of these buttons to move it back. And so it goes behind the other object. And it's going even further back. So we send it as far as we can. We can also bring it back forwards. Does that make sense? You guys are pretty quiet, yes or no? Is that clear?
Who
Yes.
thinks this is fun?
Okay, so now I just want you to delete this costume. So you can just delete this costume. And now you can either choose sprite number 1 or sprite number 3. This sprite number 2 is just a solid object, so they can become part of the imagination. Yeah. You can either choose either one, and we wanted to change this angry bird to a happy bird. So how would we do that?
Okay, just
Eyebrows.
start with
Eyebrows.
eyes.
Okay. So feel free to manipulate. You can do what Michael did. He got rid of the whites of the eyes. Yeah, you can delete that. So now it's looking like a very serious businessman type of bird. Very shrewd. Yes, you can change the color. You can change the color of the eyebrows.
Okay, time to
Make them
No.
gradient. Yeah, we could actually.
That's creepy.
So we're making a green bird.
Oh my.
That's a crazy
Oh, wait, is green a happy color? Do we think green is a happy
Unibrow?
color? Yes, no? Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so
Unibrow bird.
unibrow. That's my favorite bird. Unibrow bird is great. So let's just manipulate. Play with the eyebrow. Maybe add some more hair.
I'm trying to make like Asian eyes or something.
Maybe give him. Maybe he's upset
Does
because
it
his
pretty
hair
much.
is really not.
That's good.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Showing
Like, sometimes.
Could be like winking.
Maybe that's why
Okay, this is not.
it's good about being pilot.
We'll play around with it. Let's try to make this bird happy bird, okay?
Come on, man.
I don't know. I'm thinking
I killed it.
that's right here.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Double
good.
barrel. Funky. Poor angry birds.
It looks like this bird's tired. I just gives up on life.
Good.
Okay, let's
What are you doing?
Give her a
looking the same.
She just made
Bird
like a
looks
double
tired.
bird. So.
Double bird.
There's
Oh.
nothing I can say. The bird looks good.
He just looked
Oh, that's good. I
He's just
like
the fun
that. That's awesome.
It's a very confused bird.
He looks like Bruno Mars or something.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to say that?
Yeah,
on camera.
Mr. Mars, however.
It does look like a Bruno Mars bird.
Oh my god, she's a genius. We can make, give a little
I love it. That's awesome.
swoosh to the hair. We can really play around.
Oh my gosh.
Is this more of like a questioning bird? Like, what's going on? What's happening?
What's going on with my hair? Is what you say.
Yeah.
I
like
it. So wait, let's try to maybe add a little length to
Ooh,
the
that's nice.
I
smile.
want to know why this is going.
Ben with mine.
Now this is more of a happy bird. So happy.
It's a wonderful bird.
Oh my
So
gosh.
let's go around and take a everybody show. Turn your computers to
This is finally my new.
Maybe this row turn their computers over just to
Yeah.
show.
Actually, it's hilarious.
Ben,
Not even
see yours.
Beautiful.
That's a very complex thinking bird. This one here. Awesome.
Deep in thought.
It's totally deep in thought. That's an exercise bird. With a headband.
That's a unibrow.
Unibrow. Oh. I'm in the mode of like sneakers. I'm thinking the Nike thing this weekend.
It does look like it could be a headband.
And this is really,
Workout bird.
this is like, this isn't even a bird anymore. This is something else. My goodness.
He's like, what? Got the eyebrow up.
So you got
Did you see how easy it is to draw?
to.
And we've changed our angry bird to a questionable bird, a happy bird, physical bird.
Bruno
And we
Mars
can also, Bruno Mars bird. We can also expand the eyes. We can make it even more feminine. We can do lots of things.
Yeah.
But these small adjustments
Okay, I got the.
to things like the eyebrows, the shape of the eyebrows, the shape of the eyes, completely changes the expression that that this angry bird, this character is making. And that's really important. Like the small little subtle adjustments can make a huge difference with your character. Okay, so we're gonna take, yes.
I finally
We're gonna
made a
take
good
another
one.
We're gonna take another 5 minutes to play around with this, and then we're gonna work on our actual characters.
Actually did it.
You did it. That's totally awesome. Play around with the hair a bit.
Okay.
You can change the hair color, make it like red.
Rainbow.
Oh my gosh.
Now this bird doesn't look
Oh my
like
God.
Yes. Sumo bird.
So put it on this way.
Is it?
So funny.
Let's just make this her lips.
Quincy,
Just continue to play
Perfect.
around with
another thing on the broadcast.
Oh, very nice. Come over here.
How pretty.
Turn this around. I see it.
I love
You're looking this one. Say no.
Do you have any questions about the tools? No? You're all quiet.
Everyone's pro.
Yes.
That's actually so cool. The phone shook.
Yeah.
Because it was like vibrating and we texted something.
See? Oh, cool. It's like an effect.
Whoa.
Because there's a vibration.
Yeah. That is hilarious. I didn't realize that the camera was affected by that. The black one but it is harder to do, I think, than the yellow one.
There's also the black one's more
Yeah.
complex. There's ways to add humor, like if we really want to be super silly, it's like crossing the eyes makes things a little funnier, as opposed to making it perfect eye placement. Things like that. Think of those if you want to have one of your characters is sort of funnier type of character. You can turn the eyes pointing upwards and downwards.
I like that.
It's like a big cranberry
Yeah,
now or
because
something, right? I would never.
In real life, someone's eyes would do that. But yeah, we can.
Eye. There's a bigger pupil.
Is that what you would when you wake up in the morning?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't fill it in. I can't fill it in.
You can't fill one in.
Yes.
Move forward.
It needs to be a closed shape to fill it.
Oh, okay.
How big can you make it?
Give me the black.
Can you make it like huge? Make it like huge. But like on top, can you make it on top of the head? It's like Donald Trump birds.
What the?
It's like
Okay,
It's
so we'll
like
take
Donald
another
Trump
2 more
right now.
minutes to play around and
Smooth it.
think about the ways you can make your character. Do you want your character to
Donald
have
Trump.
happy expressions or darker, more intense expressions? Just think about the way you're going to translate your actual drawings digitally. I love what I'm seeing right now. You guys are doing an
well, you'd
amazing
have to make
job.
the
This is
face orange
hilarious.
because his face is kind of orange. It's true. The mouth almost looks like it. Oh, his mouth screws up when he tries. We just made Donald Trump bird. We're making the face orange just to make it.
Yes, and the hair piece.
Even with the mouth.
Perfect. You can even round out the cheeks a bit. You can do everything.
This is after the Iowa.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome.
I know, right?
So that's a character in itself. Like you've totally changed the
love it.
Angry Bird and you made
And
it
the
to us.
eyes, like
Yeah.
it says so much. It's great colors, actually.
Great color choice.
Donald
That's
Trump.
you're using primary colors with the except for the white.
And the
Red.
Angry Bird.
It's after Ottawa.
You have yellow there. Perfect.
I did it. Yeah, I just did.
And color selection is really important as well. That adds to the character's emotional sort of appeal as well. If the characters are, green usually signifies sort of evil.
Beautiful.
That's kind of the color history we have with that. But play around with the colors. Does it change the emotional response you have to the character? Think about those things. Color selection is very important. I love your exercise bird. It's a penguin. It looks like a penguin.
She's a little kid.
It's a unibrow bird, but it totally looks like a penguin because of the black and white. See that kind of association?
Oh my gosh,
When people will see your character, they'll have that will happen. So.
She just said.
And yours is a muscular.
She's like that.
Okay, so we can wrap this up. So now you know how to.
That's awesome.
Can I have everybody's attention for a second? Now you know how to. Oh, Matthew, that is gorgeous. That's art right there. No, really, I'm being serious. It's so abstract. You've abstracted it to a whole other level. But now you know how the tools work. You've got the basic ideas of how, and you guys are running with it. So now let's translate. Now you know how to make some shapes. You know how to make shapes look like body parts. We're gonna take out our drawings. And we're going to we're going to spend the next couple of classes making these into digital characters.
Ouch.
And we're also going to do the antagonist, right, next week? Or this week is the
main character, yeah, because we only have half.
Okay, so we have half an hour to draw. We're good? All right, so start a new project.
What? All this work for nothing?
Or actually,
Better.
actually, Melanie, I'm just gonna, can I just
Sure.
Yeah. You guys don't have to start a new project. If you go into your project, you won't lose all your code from last week. So maybe I'll just show you guys that really quickly.
Mine is an Armstrong.
The bodybuilding.
Kayla? Oh, we can turn it back, yeah.
Okay, so guys, can I just grab everybody's attention on the screen up here? Just really, really quick, just like 30 seconds. Can I see everybody's eyes up here? Everybody thinks Nazreen, Michael, Quinn, Ben, Kayla, all eyes up here. Cool, awesome. Okay, so when you guys are in your project in Scratch, when you go to My Stuff and then select your project, I don't want you to lose all the code that you've done already, right? So if you actually select your main character, so in my case it was a dinosaur, you select your main character and then go up to costumes, you'll see all the costumes come up on the sidebar. And then just like Melanie was saying in the tutorial, you want to do a new costume, so in the paintbrush, and then that will add another costume down here and you can delete the other two, okay? So the code is gonna now apply to the costume that you create, and it doesn't have to, you don't have to keep this, but you can keep the code. Does that make sense, everybody? Mm-hmm. So could everybody go to My Stuff? So make sure you're logged in and then go to My Stuff, and then open up. You don't need to save this. Yeah, it's okay.
Somebody's like keep sign. Yeah, just keep it out. Yeah.
Okay, I'm done. Let's go back. How do I go back?
Can I keep logging?
Maybe you can now sign into your account.
I did.
It says yours.
Hey, what is
Focus. Now the key thing is you two are working together, right? And you two are working together? Yep. Okay, so you can't work on the same project on two separate computers, okay? So if you guys want to move, and if you want to come over here, or you guys can switch or try to figure that out.
Michael, you can move where Quinn is sitting, and Kayla can move to where Michael's sitting. Sounds good?
What is this?
Okay, let's do it.
All right, ready? So just carefully walk to the computer.
Quinn.
Okay. Yeah, Quinn, you need to move over that way, and then Michael's gonna swap where you.
And I feel
I
like
sit next to Ben. Ben.
Alter ego.
Yes.
It's all about Mr. Here. Alter ego.
Can you pass me the stylus?
Sit over here.
Okay.
Hurry up. Okay. So do you have your drawings out?
Pass me the
Okay.
my stylus.
Kayla, come on, we have to move quickly. We have 30 minutes.
Did it.
Kayla.
I got it. Escape.
Michael's drawing. All right, out of the game playing right now, we're gonna be in Scratch, okay? So open up your My Stuff. Sign
Again?
in. Yeah, you're working together. Or did you want to take a 2-minute break and then get back to this? You want to take a 2-minute
Yeah,
break?
we're
Stretch your
gonna-
legs, shake your legs, stand up.
Second, do you want Kayla to?
Okay, so then
How are we supposed to? What is next?
Did you find the hall pass? Who has the hall pass? Just out of curiosity. Godfrey has the hall pass.
okay, we're gonna take a
Was it
5-minute break.
yesterday?
From who?
I don't know where it was yesterday.
We're never going to be leaving again.
Did you pause and leave?
I thought we were just moving it.
And then you're gonna go into the costumes tab. And then you're gonna add a new costume using the paintbrush. New costume using the paintbrush.
Main sprite. Click on this. Main sprite. Main sprite. You'll get your snack soon. Main sprite. Costume. And then make a new costume by this clicking on this paintbrush. Did you follow? Did you do it? Do it again. Do it.
Oh, you want me to?
Yeah, because you.
Wait, do I have to sign in?
Yes, you do. Sign in with the kids. So is that clear? Did you guys already get in?
Kids. No. Wait, what's the
Is
password?
that your main character? Yeah, perfect. You've
What's
done it.
Kit, what did you
Okay, so now start drawing. You two have to share. Teamwork. So who wants to take the lead with the drawing?
I will.
Do that on your
No,
computer.
we are clicking on Strategia.
Yeah, that's not Whoa.
Hey. No pushing.
Okay.
Gotta share. So
Yo,
you're working on
stop it.
Strategia. So now start drawing out. Do you have your illustration of Strategia?
Yeah.
Where is she?
1, 2, 3.
It's better to drop the style.
Yeah, but like.
Over here. So let's use it as the. Okay. No need to get upset. It's good.
Oh no, wait, it's something else. So I will not do that.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, I'll make
let's.
it.
Okay, that sounds good.
Oh, we got 3 viewers.
I
Those people.
So who's Sharkeisha?
Party hard. Yeah.
Bye. Thank you. This is
We
Sharkeisha.
have 3 views.
Okay, so what shape do we see in Sharkeisha? So yeah, what shape do you see? You're gonna take turns drawing parts of this, okay?
Right.
So what about her head? Let's start usually with the body. So start with like the legs
Okay.
and work your way up. That's a really good way of learning to draw. Because if you start with the head, sometimes you take up too much space. So start with exactly. What's the first? So what's the next step after you've done the costume? Can I have everybody's attention for a minute?
Thank you.
Once you've made a new costume, what's the next step?
Convert the vector.
Right. This has to be changed to convert to vector. So did everybody select that?
You were ahead last.
Convert, so you're in vector mode. You're good. So now you have to.
Now do it.
So click on this there.
Oh, that does look
Now you have no sprite. Here. Look, there we go. Draw. Both of you can draw.
Yeah, move
You like my background?
That doesn't look like your sketch.
Oop.
Yeah.
So let's work on your sketch. Yeah. That's gonna help you. I am. Yes.
How do you do that?
Oh,
Okay, wait. So what? We're supposed to import that to that.
No. So
Draw it on there.
Picture of it.
what we're supposed to do?
Yes.
Create a new costume.
And then you're just everything you're gonna do is
I'm the original.
and then we should start drawing.
Okay.
Well, what?
And now.
You're just like,
No, you're not to. Okay, so
Is this your game?
let's do it one check at a time, right? So like maybe let's start with the head.
Right. So what do we have to do
Right?
with the main
Okay,
character?
You can do it. You can do it. It's okay.
And then
You can do it. No, you have to try.
Oh, yeah.
okay, so from there.
Yeah, but do you think that this piece of paper, if I put it on his
That would like
in your name?
Why don't we make curves? Do you want to be really straight, or do you want to have like curves on your shoulder? And
Well, it's
stuff?
not gonna look very good.
Help him translate this drawing to this
Oh, I
one.
can't get. So we're doing the drawing.
Yeah, I kind of.
Yes.
It doesn't have to look
Okay,
exactly
Yeah,
like
that's what we're
yours.
doing.
How's it
Where
moving?
it's totally
No.
focused.
All right. So what the heck?
You can't do
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what are you doing with my
I want to make it look a bit like a human head.
I want you to give it a shot.
Oh my god, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go into the circle.
So this doesn't look like a drawing. It's not you guys draw. It's fun. And actually, this is
Yes, there we go. All right.
that's not yours.
And then you want.
That's my fault.
Let's make it.
You know what? That's mean you have to make it just as
Yeah, so you want it, you want this challenge?
You got it. That's no problem.
That's for you. And you have 15 minutes to do it. Okay, so focus on your good job.
Just in case.
I'm not sure how to do that.
Just give it your best shot.
Drawings are fantastic.
Michael, give it your best shot.
Then we need 2 ovals.
This is Michael's drawing. There's 4 viewers. Doesn't matter. 4
Yay,
viewers.
party
It's
hard.
been 2 hours, so there were more. Good.
Ben is
Keep going.
So then, so 2 ovals.
Seeing
Yeah.
Okay, so partner.
Boom.
No,
What's that? You don't want to draw?
Jenny, don't you think this looks like Simon?
Like who?
Yeah, let her draw. Come
I have
on.
no idea how to
Just
do
draw. You have 15 minutes left.
Draw properly.
Why don't you use the pen?
Come on. That's a
it.
lot.
Yeah, it is that.
So start with the face. Yes.
Good face.
Yeah. And they also
The-
make You can actually.
That's small.
Oh.
Turn it.
Yeah. So that's how you draw on tablets. So if you guys aren't comfortable with drawing on the tablets upright, you can lay them flat down.
Rectangle.
Stop it.
Oh yeah. What's happening with your cat over here?
We're finished.
Oh, I got it out of the face.
What?
Oh, wait, look at this.
Is that her hat?
Wait, look.
Legs. You guys, you won't have a chance to work on this homework, so try to get as much as
Because
you
we've
can
got the
done.
family day and everything, so you got a chance to really like see what you have to do motor skills wise, right?
Best science I've ever done in my life.
I don't know, Louis.
Right, so try to get as much of the drawing.
Okay,
as
this
you
is
can.
Indigo
You know what?
So try to get something solid down. At least try to get half of the character. And Quinn, you can follow along.
Oh, wait.
With Ben and
Yo,
Now try.
fire. Fire.
Draw some fire.
Yvonne,
No. I'm good at fire.
What's with the names?
Yo, what is that?
Oh my god,
Or you could.
Right?
How do you do the circle thing? So you select
Those are estimated.
Reese's Pieces.
huge that one. So when you click on the object, fire. Yeah.
Okay, that kind of feels like.
Ben, are you looking?
Wait. What? Why does everyone call him Ben?
Because
His name is Ben.
It's my new name.
His name is Ben.
Alter ego.
Ben.
Name.
Alter
Sorry.
Eagle.
I'm
Twitter's my alter ego. More human heady.
Early bird is my alter ego.
Can I just trace this on like
Twitter
this?
is totally my alter ego. Like, what did you just say? It's a tweet that I saw on a video. It said, Twitter is my alter ego.
Melanie, look what we did.
There's another saying, I'd rather kill myself than commit suicide. Well,
he looks like
Yep.
Marge Simpson.
I'd rather
I
kill
love his
that
hands.
human.
Oh yeah.
This is so hard.
It's
Fire.
Fire.
I know.
Wow.
What are we doing with our life, man?
You're learning how to
People
code,
these
draw
days
digitally, and all that.
I'm not
kind of
doing
stuff,
this
because you're gonna need to learn how to do that.
Oh no, Michael, you have to get a bit of your character down.
Yes.
We don't have time to work on it.
Because everything now is translated. Everybody that knows.
You've got the opportunity of a career.
Unless you're gonna be like an artist and
Modify it a little
paint and
bit.
draw for a living, and big scales or whatever. But
Such good fun.
even if you're drawing with
I don't know.
cartoons, you still have to draw this.
Want me to help you? We can look through the shapes.
I'm not good at
Okay.
this.
Which one do you want to do this one?
Tio.
There's also something that kind of we forgot to talk about is like you have to close the shapes that you've made. So if you're going to be using the pen tool or the line tool, you try to close the shape. because otherwise you can't adjust the color. You won't be able to. You'll be able to adjust the color of the outline, but not the actual shape itself.
That's really good, Nesmeen. That's really good.
That's Jackie.
Okay,
That's
sucks.
exactly that.
Okay.
Okay.
So the arm should be like waving.
No.
No.
My character is not a friendly person.
Okay.
Does your character
Like a
have
fist.
Yeah.
strong?
Can we get our snack over there? He doesn't even talk.
He doesn't need to talk, Quinn.
He doesn't even eat. Well, maybe you should start feeding your character that should eat with.
What? That's not my character. That's Ben's.
What? Who the heck is Ben? Why is it Ben?
Ben 10.
Try not to close it.
Kayla.
You're so smart.
Look, no one believes me that Ben 10 is
But focus on your drawing. You can show me the Ben 10 afterwards. We have to get more.
Bulky arm.
Oh my
God. Like a color?
A strong man.
Yeah.
Is this the character that they're gonna use?
Yes. Really? That's what we're doing.
And you're all like, oh, I'm so
So
strong.
now you got.
And then
Yes. You got. Yeah. Stop this.
That's not the
We're actually gonna stop in 5
Okay,
minutes.
how about
3 hours.
Wait. It's going pretty good.
Why don't you make your character, Quinn?
I'm taking a
Mine
photo.
is so awesome.
No, you can't do that.
Also,
Okay,
remember
let's
to think of
try
your game design
break it down,
documents.
okay?
Think of your character's attitude,
Well, you get the
character
idea.
description, the physicality of your character.
So it'll be like, yeah.
Okay,
And
let's
then
try the
the other one.
And this timer isn't right. We have less than 5 minutes left because we have to say our goodbyes and thank yous and everything, so we can just miss you. To all of you guys. Because we have to make sure
So if we're not stylist,
No, we're not.
Yeah,
I'm
You're joking.
No, that's
it's not too hard to kind of put that thing.
Mom.
Yeah, says me.
I'm not a good drawer, you're way better drawer.
What?
But you can
That's
try
not
and
true.
just why you
It's 27-7.
Why you coloring my shirt?
Blue.
Why blue?
Create an account just like
I
that.
can't click these lines. They're too
Why?
This is my life.
Not
Because
small.
They're small.
I know I'm gonna need it for my resume sooner. Like I draw for a living.
No, thank you. Then that log off.
There you go.
What do you want to
That's good, you're getting there.
Okay, yes. It's close enough. How do you
What
make
did
the line
you do?
straight? What did you do?
Remember the line?
I like it.
This one, that,
You
you
just said Donald
Trump.
Here.
It's gonna be like straight.
Yes, that's straight.
But I want it like.
So guys,
Well, when you make it straight, you can adjust the
you
Something really
draw.
Wait.
Okay, because it's very much like he has to set up like a piece of paper, right? On the desk.
Okay, so draw the straight line. Remember how I explained it?
Paper.
So let's take a look. Don't rub your eyes. Don't rub your eyes. Don't rub your eyes.
Paper.
Wash your hands
Paper.
though. Okay. So let's do it this way.
You get its paper. Then
Get rid of this.
Yay,
So
what's up, for
now
viewers?
you draw the line.
Yay!
And then we select this. So we can change the points on the line.
Oh, what is
It's just be on it.
Oh, my
Like,
What did I do?
Oh my gosh.
You touched my
Let's make this line bigger.
Dude, he's like 6.
over here?
Scared.
So
I don't know what the heck it
this
is.
is what we do to make
But
it
it was here and it needs
And
to
then
not
we
be
take
here.
those points and move them.
Oh, you should undo
Wanna
that.
give
Make it
him
curly, okay?
Okay, ready?
Give him an
That's
and
Undo. No.
Undo it again.
Redo. Let's just take it.
All right, one more minute.
Not
One more
working.
minute.
We will leave it there.
Oh my god.
Let's have this
I
actually
can do that.
super cool, awesome.
Remember, you have to like close the shapes.
Sword.
Why did it
Because right now, if you want to
Okay.
What are
I
those?
like that.
What are those?
So make
Sword
sure
of
that all of your
epicness.
shapes
Sword of epic.
or no, it could be like that.
Yo, that
Yeah,
looks like
that's
a little brother, like little
So
little.
smart.
So all your shapes have to be close.
Yes, like that's
I
Jimmy.
wasn't being sarcastic.
Jimmy, that's
18 more seconds because we have.
that's a unique one.
It means
That's
5
unique
minutes
one.
and 18.
We have to
No,
color.
we're stopping.
That's
We're
unique
stopping.
one. Really fast.
What?
But yeah, we have to go. We're stopping.
Unique one. Hold on. Unique one.
Three,
I love it.
1. Okay, we're done. Put the tablets down.
Turn off.
Yeah, so
So
Just really quickly, these are some examples that other kids have drawn using Scratch.
Oh.
Which is really, this is an example of what kind of style again, guys? What kind of style is this?
Cartoon.
Cartoon, yes, it's a cartoon. This is also, these are some examples of what kids have done before too. What style is this?
Flat.
Flat, you got it.
I like the green one.
yeah,
Yeah,
everyone has like something about it. It's pretty
So
cute.
all 4 are really good. This is kind of what we're aiming for. Does this sound okay to everybody? You feel confident that you can do it?
Yes.
No.
Yes. We're all confident that you can. Okay,
No, not at all.
the homework,
If you have time.
if you have time,
Sure.
is to finish your main character drawing. Okay. We saw how quickly you did the work today. Michael practically finished his drawing in 10 minutes, and he can restart. And remember, close the shapes to make sure that you can fill them in with color. Otherwise, you can just have the outlines for now. So, work on the main character for next week. That's what we're going to be meeting for you guys, if possible.
We
possible.
probably won't get. But what I do want you to do, because we won't be able to get to it, I do want you really thinking about your design and how you're going to approach this, because we've had some chance to work with it.
Yeah.
So now you know you have to close the shade. You know how to kind of work things so that when you come back to it, you're really focused, okay, on just getting down that character. If there's any modifications you want to make to your design, that's the time to take home your portfolio and do it, okay?
And the exit question. Do we have our little sticky pieces of
We
paper?
did. Someone,
I
Yeah.
don't like the question. Yay, we saw four viewers.
Exit question?
Bye.
Okay, so
It's longer.
can I just have your attention for a second? The exit question is,
that's that?
did you enjoy digital drawing more than sketching? Why or why not? You have to explain. So, did you enjoy digital drawing more than sketching? Why or why not?
Log off.
Okay.
Everything goes.
Answer the question and then you can exit.
Here you are.
Yay.
Name on it. It can go on the back, your name, okay? We'll make sure your name's on it.
I need my pencil.
Great.
I need my pencil.
Did you enjoy digital drawing more than sketching? Why or why not?
Eraser.
That's okay. You can just
Did you enjoy digital drawing more than
1
sketching?
second.
Why or why not? And you guys fill out the.
1 second. It's almost done.
Oh, we have to.
Okay, it's done.
Oh, your silence.
Oh, yeah, that.
Does your
Put your name on this one.
Does your know the silence?
Cool, there you go.
Yeah.
When you're done, you can pass it on.
Did some of that brainstorming.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is today they were working on their drawings, but they would do. So.
Yeah, that one, sorry.
Nazreen, can I see your sketch? That's it, right there? Okay.
Oh, make sure you put Sharkita, right? Make sure you get her name on it next time so that we know between her and Stella. Kayla. Okay. Kayla.
So how'd you get the idea for this?
The computers.
We want to wrap things up as well. You guys did an amazing job today.
I just draw the people that are
Okay, okay, that's great.
Okay, so everybody's done their exit question? Perfect. Thank you so much. You guys did an excellent job today. We covered a lot of material, and so we're really impressed. So like keep up the good work, and we're gonna see you next week.
And high five.
High five, high five. Everybody give high fives.
Okay.
Awesome.
What
Good
about
job.
a big thank you to
Good job.
Kids in Tech?
Yes. Thank you, Dustin. Park School. Good job today, Ben.
Thank you.
Now we're gonna take away your alter ego.
High five, Michael. We're done. High five, Michael.
Back to reality.
Good job,
Michael, amazing. Michael, huge favor. Can you do Michael? Can you do all the game design? It's too much